My name's Charles White, and in the virtual worlds, I'm known as Jet Burns. Ironically, I'm also known in the virtual worlds more famously than I am in the real world. So, when you say virtual worlds, yeah, I do. I'm talking about Second Life, and well, but not necessarily. The Second Life is one of the providers of virtual worlds, and NASA is looking at virtual worlds as a concept. We're using Second Life as one of our test beds because they are one of the most evolved, publicly available. So we're using that like a COTS product, a commercial off-the-shelf software product, where we simply provide a subscription to their existing infrastructure. So we don't have to invest in large server farms and large network links. We can simply use a commercial provider and subscribe to their service.
So what's your position? My position at NASA is?
My position at NASA is I do two jobs. My day job, that I call it, is I'm the manager of the problem reporting system, which is basically the 911 call center for any spacecraft emergency that occurs in space, on the pad, or under construction. That's my day job. My night job, I kind of say, which I'm funded a little bit for research and development of virtual worlds and gaming within the NASA world.
And this started when?
The initiative to explore virtual worlds started about 2004 or so, and then evolved 2005, 2006. CoLab started coming about, and then 2007. So we've been doing some work within the virtual worlds kind of early on. Well, but then again, if you look at virtual worlds, NASA has always done some simulator work. You know, we've trained astronauts in virtual worlds. You know, we started with a simple, you know, artificial horizon on a computer display, actually on a mechanical display. If you think about that, you know, even before computers, you know, we were doing some virtual world stuff. But then as the virtual worlds evolve, then we've been taking advantage of that technology as well.
So if people want to see the NASA reality in Second Life, how would they find that?
It's pretty easy.
If you restate the question or in your answer. For people to come and visit in Second Life, the NASA installation, first you have to create an avatar. And you create an avatar all on your own, and then you go and you have to get it dressed, and you have to learn that the up arrow is forward and the right arrow is turn right. Once you got those basics down, then you can search for NASA, you could search for CoLab, or you could search for Explorer Island. And once you find one of those locations, they're basically an island of 16 virtual acres, and we've laid out facilities there. The Explorer Island is kind of like a JPL open house, where we have spacecraft that are there, and they're avatar sized, life size, if you will. You can actually walk right up and see them. You could ride a Mars rover around if you want to, because we have a little Mars terrain that's there. And located about 650 meters up, we've built a science visualization of Mars Victoria crater. That's one of the things that NASA is very much interested. Why are we looking at virtual worlds? It's not for playing games. We're looking at it for a couple things. One, science data visualization. Walking on the terrain of another planet with an avatar is just fabulous, because now you're there walking. You're not just looking at a picture. You know the adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, Tom Soderstrom coined the term that a virtual world is worth 1,000,000, because everything is moving within that world. So it's pretty neat to see science data visualization, but that's not all. We're also looking at a new way to do engineering. So there was a paradigm shift back between, you know, the early 80s and the 90s, in that we took the T-squares and the drafting tables away from the drafters. And when we took the T-squares away, we handed the drafters a mouse, and we put them in front of a 15-inch monitor and said, okay, this is how you're going to do CAD, computer-aided design, in the future. Now we're looking at over the horizon, and we're thinking about taking away the mouse and giving people the avatar. So now they have to explore this virtual world with an avatar. What's that mean, though, is we can then design spacecraft within that virtual world because we're not limited to the physics of this world. So we could resize the size of our avatar or upsize the size of an electronics module, and we can walk through the wires of that electronics module, or we can go macro scale. And if we macro scale out, we can go from Earth, Moon, and Mars and beyond with our avatars, all within the same virtual environment. So it takes CAD, computer-aided design, to the whole next level.
So people are collaborating using Second Life by?
So people are collaborating using Second Life by participating internationally or nationally. We, at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, we have a Project Design Center, the PDC. And people from educational organizations, universities, and private industry fly in and participate in spacecraft design. One of the things we're looking at using virtual world technologies is they would be able to collaborate in spacecraft design without ever leaving their office from their home location. For that fact, without ever leaving their house. They could participate in virtual worlds wearing pajamas if they're homesick or you know, feeling well enough to participate. Their avatar is dressed and doesn't have a runny nose, but they could have eye boogers and runny nose and all that happening at home, but they can still you know, participate professionally within a design collaborative review. We've held events in Second Life by we've held a conference where at Caltech we had a knowledge management conference, and we had 100 people in attendance that was actually sitting in physical chairs. And then we had 40 people in the virtual world that attended internationally. One of the presenters, Troy McConaughey, was in Canada, and he presented his PowerPoint presentation, and we broadcast the Second Life world up on the large display screens at Caltech. So in Second Life, we also had a podium set up, and Troy's avatar walked up to the podium and started showing the PowerPoint slides. Even though I'm in this world, I occasionally would keep looking over at the real life podium, and Troy's not there, but I could hear his voice and I could see the slides. So it started dawning that the world is fake, the world is not real, but the communication is real, the collaboration is real, the visualization is real. That's all you need. That's what you need to pay for. That's what's worth the money. That's what's worth the savings, is that virtualness, that ability to have real one-on-one interaction between each other. That was real. So his podium is made of pixels, his avatar is made of pixels, but who cares? After a while, the audience was able to ask him questions through the audio rig that we hooked up, and he was able to respond, and it was as if he was actually there. But he saved thousands. 40 people saved 40 airline trips, 40 rental cars, 40 hotel rooms. And you know, you talk about green, you know, there's a green aspect as well as a time-saving aspect to this type of collaboration. It's the very beginning. The very beginning of this is you know, people, how do I explain this? I'm sure there was somebody on the beach of Kitty Hawk saying to the Wright brothers, that's no B-2. But that's ironic because the person on the beach would not have had a clue of what a B-2 is, nor would the Wright brothers have a clue of what a B-2. We know what a B-2 is. And we use our imagination through science fiction and so forth to look to what virtual worlds could be. Someday we'll get there. We'll have the B-2 version of a virtual world. But right now, we're kind of in the biplane era, you know, with the virtual world. It's growing up. But I see that we have to keep paying attention to this, because it's almost our duty, because this is a new emerging technology that's going to change how we do business, just as the web. The web, you know, HTTP. That changed the way we do business. What airline could stay in business if their website goes down to get tickets, to get a rental car? Not just eBay, it's other things. The web has become an integral part of how we do business. And so virtual worlds will also become that. Not yet, but it will happen.